Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to an unbelievable, utter embarrassment. I mean, this is just ridiculous. Not even in the sense that, like, of course, U of A being my rival and whatnot, like, it doesn't even necessarily affect me that much that U of A wins this game. I mean, wow. Washington got their ass handed to them on their home turf. They lose 44-6. I mean, I don't think anybody saw this coming. Washington State was favored by 7.5. They didn't even come close to that. They literally struck first. They drew first blood. They scored the first touchdown. Nobody would have thought U of A would just proceed to do what they did, but I got one reason why they did so bad, and it's turnovers. They failed 3 4th downs, which one of them came all the way at the end of the game. So we'll say 2 4th downs. And then they had 3 turnovers. That was 5 possessions given away, as well as the Washington State defense had no answer for the U of A offense. And they just straight up sucked. I mean, I'm really disappointed that I was so high up on this Washington State team and they just collapsed. I mean, they just do not look anywhere near the same team as the team that beat the crap out of Oregon State. They just don't look anywhere on the same level at all. Now, to be fair, I feel like this could kind of be translated to last season where Washington State got ranked for beating Wisconsin, big upset. But then they had to play Oregon, and that game was very, very close with Oregon winning by like 3 points. And then from that point on, Washington State fell apart. The same thing could have like happened in this game, or the same thing could have happened this year with Oregon State, but Oregon State just wasn't able to come back and win. I mean, Oregon was down big in that game, and then they came all the way back and won it. Oregon State just wasn't able to come back and win it, and then now Washington State's just following the exact same trend as last year. I mean, judging off of, this final score, of course, the way the season can go for Washington State, I mean, they definitely won't be a ranked team. They have to go play at Oregon, who is just fiending for a win after today. I mean, then even one could say, I mean, I don't want to, like, raise my hopes too much, but like they have to play at ASU. Like there's been a couple teams that have struggled with ASU. Other teams haven't, but I mean the chances have gotten there, so that's a must win for Washington State, but it's on the road. Then they get to host Stanford, but even that doesn't look like a guaranteed win anymore because Stanford just pulled off the unbelievable. Then they're at Cal. I mean, I don't really know anything. Like, I don't really know if I could preach on Cal's name. Then they host Colorado. That could be a pretty tough game because everybody's going to be there for Dion. And then they're at Washington. So, like, what was really looking like it could be a very high, like a very good season for Washington State. I didn't really think they were going to lose at UCLA. I didn't think they were going to lose to U of A, but I didn't think they were going to beat Oregon State. Like, I was kind of surprised by that. I think their rank just got shot through the roof when they beat Wisconsin and then they beat Oregon State. They just got placed at number 13. And, I mean, even the UCLA game, which, like, was even worse on the turnover end. They failed a 4th-down conversion, and they turned the ball over 4 times. They gave 5 giveaways. The difference about the UCLA game was UCLA gave a couple of possessions over. U of A didn't give shit. U of A didn't give shit over. They converted their only 4th down that they went for. They didn't turn over the ball once. U of A had 516 yards of total offense. But what's the major takeaway from this game is not that Washington State is shit. It's that Arizona's actually pretty fucking good. So the problem with U of A was at the start of the year, they were playing this dude called Jaden DeLora, who was just not it. If you look at the Mississippi State game, I mean, they turned the ball over 5 times, 4 picks and a fumble, and they failed a 4th-down conversion. Mississippi State, it was a pretty big crowd, but, I mean, you can't lose that game at Mississippi State. And then, of course, they lose to Washington by 7 at U of A, and then they lose in triple overtime to USC, and now they bounce back with a 44-6 win over Washington State on the road. They host Oregon State on the 28th. They host UCLA on the 4th. They're on the road at Colorado, and they host Utah, and then they're at ASU. This team could win out. This team could win out and finish a 3-loss team. They just had a rough start to the season. Honestly, the USC game really should have been U of A's game. It really should have been it. But, I mean, USC did miss that, or they messed up on that last-second field goal. But in overtime, it definitely should have been U of A's game. It's just they had a horrific play call. I mean, dude, this U of A team next year could be, like, insane. But, yeah, I just wanted to point this out because this is a major takeaway for Pac-12 play. I mean, this is, the 18th stunner this week. I mean, the Pac-12 has just been on fire. So, yeah, that's all I have to say about this video. Like and subscribe would help. A comment always helps. That's all for me. Adios.